Alright guys, this is my first video for the new channel I created called Pete's Quarter Life Crisis. And the girlfriend came up with the name, thought it was pretty funny, and it's relatively accurate because I just got started into coin collecting for like a year, 2 years now, and getting serious with it. And so this video is all about sending in a submission package to PCGS. I'm just trying to whittle down a box of coins I have into the coins I want to send to PCGS. So we're going to look at them, we're going to try to grade them, and figure out if it's worth sending into PCGS or not. I have one up on the screen already, which is this 1972 Lincoln cent, which is pretty awesome. I bought it from an auction house. I love the double dyed thing. I'd love to get a 1955 eventually, but this is the 1972. So right now they have it graded as 65 plus red brown. I don't know. I'm not really a penny grader. Looks like it could be. I mean, if we go over to the PCGS website, they have this is a 66. So if it does get graded as a 65, 300, 400, 64, 300, but regardless, I would just probably almost guaranteed to get this one graded. Just I feel it has something I want to protect. It's too cool to be passing up. So if we look at more grades here, 64, 65, try to get an idea of what we think it is. I mean, all these pennies pretty much end up looking the same to me. It's a little bit easier to tell with some more coins I'm more familiar with, which we'll be seeing in a little bit, which are Morgan dollars. But I don't really, I guess the 63 looks a little bit different than, a little bit less detail than the 65. So let's go back to my coin. So here's a close-up of the coin. See, it has pretty awesome doubling and everything. And the Liberty and God We Trust is doubled. 1972 is doubled. So this is a double die obverse, the front of the coin. And honestly, the details on the coin look pretty awesome. There are some of these carbon spots on the coin, so hopefully PCGS doesn't not grade it for damage. So I guess we'll see. But I'm definitely, this is one of the coins I'll be sending in to get graded. All right, so the next coin is a Barber 25-cent piece, 1909D. This one is also in a case, graded through a non-reputable grader right now. So it's just, they've got it as an MS64 plus. So you know what they say, buy the coin, not the case. Again, I do have a lot of Barbers, but most of them are just in awful condition. This one is honestly pretty incredible to me. So I buy the grade. I think this could easily be MS64. You just see all this detail in the hair. The Liberty is not even touched. There's some marks in the fields, but the face is beautiful. All the marks are great. Let's look at the reverse. So here's the reverse. Again, just looks in great condition. So I mean, I buy this as a MS64. I don't know about a plus, but again, let's go over to the website. I've got it open. So this is 1909D Barber. This one's MS67. Obviously, don't think we have that. It's probably impossible to get anything graded at that unless you're friends with PCGS. Let's just go through some of the images over here. See what maybe a 64 looks like, or 65. I mean, I think it could be a 65. It could be a 64, but I mean, again, look, the 62 looks awesome. So I don't know how this one gets graded to 62, other than, maybe some of the toning. This is a 58. I mean, even the 58 looks great. So who knows? This is why it's going to be up to the professional graders. As far as price-wise, if this gets graded as a 64, 65, you're looking 300, 400 bucks, 300, 400 bucks. 65, you know, the value jumps quite a bit, so I doubt they'd give me a 65 rating. But you never know. But even if it's 200, 300 bucks, it's worth it to get graded, as long as it doesn't come back cleaned. Alright, here's the next coin. I've actually got two of these, so we're going to go through both of them. This is the 1909 Lincoln Cent, 1909S Lincoln Cent. It's a little bit harder to pick up on the camera, because, you know, just these muted browns. This one also, I mean, not in the greatest shape, so... But, you know, they didn't have great strikes on these old Lincoln Cents anyway, so... Maybe this is better than I think it is. Let's go over to the website and take a look at it. So this is a very good graded MS65, and mine does not look as good as this, so that's for sure. Let's go look at some more grades over here. I mean, I don't think I'm even going to be in the 60s or the 50s. I think I'm down, you know, maybe 25, 35. 30, maybe 25. Let's see. Let's go back to my coin. Let's see. So there's a 25. Can't really see it because of the lights, but put it around a bit. You know, the detail's not there. The hair is kind of lackluster. Again, it's in this plastic case and the lights are making it a little bit hard to see, but I also just pulled it out of a flip and it had some, you know, dust built up on it. So I may try giving this one a little bit of an acetone cleaning, see if I can't clean it up a bit. Let's go back to the website. So, I mean, the value of these, depending on what it gets graded at, I mean, it's not awesome, but also I feel like I have a responsibility to keep this coin from getting into worse shape, so I kind of want to get it encapsulated, even though I probably won't get my money's worth. So, I mean, if it's graded 15, 20, 25, you're looking at 100 bucks. I really don't think it would get graded higher than that. Alright, let's go back to my camera and put up the other. So that's the first 1909S. I have another 1909S here. Let's see, I think this one's a little bit, it's a little bit more details, but it's a little bit more nicked up. I don't know. Neither of these are the VDB variety, unfortunately. So I think this one's in a little bit better shape. There's more details on the face and then the hair. Let's look at the back. So I can, oop, that's my finger. So see, there's no VDB down there. I mean, it's just in, you know, it's in circulated shape. And we're back. This is a 1945D Walking Liberty coin. This thing is just in fabulous shape. Unfortunately, you know, all the 40 years in this series is heavily produced, so there's a lot of these coins, but they're still hard to find in great shape, not encapsulated yet. So there are a lot of details in the dress, not many marks on this coin. Looks to be in great shape. I've just got it in a little flip right now. Let's look at the back. The back is awesome as well. Just in great shape. A lot of detail. But again, it's not a super rare coin. We'll go over to the website. So here's the 45D. So here's the values. You know, I think that one could be graded as 65. Pretty easily. It's in really good shape. But at the same point, I've seen these graded. People get them back on their videos and they get graded at 60 or AU58. It's just really hard. These are kind of more modern, so they're pretty picky with them. Again, it's not super worth it to get this one graded, but it's such a beautiful coin. I don't want to let it get destroyed. I want to preserve where it's at right now. I mean, so if it gets graded as 65, that'd be 65, 64, that's what I think would get graded. I mean, I would love it to get graded as a 66. I don't think it's going to happen. Because if we go look at these other images, they have a lot of images. They're like all 66s, 67s. They all look the same to me. I don't know how they determine what's going to be a 67, what's going to be a 66 here. There's like no difference. These all look like the same coin I have. Lines in the dress, you know, the face isn't perfect. If you go down, let's get down all the way to 63, you know, see a little bit less detail in the background here. All right, now we're going to start going through the Morgans. This one is an 1880 O. And again, this one is encapsulated already in a non-PCGS NGC holder. They've got it at MS64. Again, buy the coin, not the case. Let's see. We'll be the judges if this is an MS64. That's kind of what we're doing here. Is this an MS64? If it's an MS64, we want to send it in to get graded. She's got some rubs on her cheek. You know, the fields look pretty nice. Not too much happening there. So far, I can see this being it. Pack is pretty darn good. Breast feathers look very nice. Good strike. And then I think the New Orleans Mint had, in general, pretty nice strike. So it's nearly impossible to get like a proof like. Not that I'm saying this is. Just in general, the New Orleans Mint Morgans were struck pretty well. That all looks pretty good to me. I mean, those are nice breast feathers. Maybe a little bit of wear there, but not much in the fields on the back. The backs are generally nicer, for whatever reason, than the fronts are on these Morgans. Again, there's a little bit of chatter. Not too much, though. So that's the concerning point. Kind of on her chin there, underneath the chin. So I'm going to play this on the pessimistic route, and instead of that MS64 grade, I'm going to say they'd probably come back and say this is an MS63, just because of looking right there. Anyway, let's go to the website, take a look at what PCGS thinks. There's the 1888 or 1880 O. So if it gets graded an MS63, you know, it's a nicer year. I would take that. 400, 500 bucks. 64, like they're saying, 1,000, 2,000. So I doubt they would give me an MS64, but it's still getting it broken out of that slab and encased in a real PCGS slab. If you can get it, you know, if it's worth 400, 500 bucks. I think I paid like 200 bucks for it. So if it comes back in MS63, it would be worth it. So I've got some MS63 images up here. I mean, there's plenty of chatter over here. They gave this one an MS63. But if you go up to MS64, like, you have to be pretty clean. Pretty clean. I mean, again, it's all variable. But I'm going to say that is likely an MS63. I would be fine with that. All right, turns out I had another 1880 O. I have another one of these, so we're just going to take a quick look at it. This is in another holder that I don't trust. It says it's MS63 plus. What do you mean by that? So let's take a look. I mean, the field is pretty nice. Not much going on. You know, the face has some marks. Down there, some more marks. Mark on her chin, right there. That's concerning. Kind of looks like it's part of the die, though. It doesn't really look like it's a mark. That's interesting. But I don't know for sure. Let's take a look at the back. Again, this is an 1880 O. You know, these breast feathers probably not as nice as the last coin we just looked at. Again, the back's in nice shape. Definitely looks uncirculated to me. I'd say again, this. I mean, got both of them right here. Yeah, I mean, I think this one is actually nicer than the last one. Other than that mark on her chin, just a little concerning. So. I don't know. I always like grading on the pessimistic side, but I always be disappointed even further. I'll say that this is probably an MS63 too. Who knows? But again, that could be $500, so it's worth getting graded. All right, this next coin is an 1892S. This is a rarer year. There's only 1.2 million minted of these, so this is a pretty cool coin. Problem is, it's in a holder right now that says AU53 details. Now, I don't know what they mean by that. I mean, if that's going by the PCGS grading, that means it's got a problem with it. It's cleaned, it's got a scratch on it, and in this case, it could be both on this coin. But again, this is a rare coin, so I feel like I want to send this in and get it graded. I don't recall what I paid for it, but I knew what I was getting myself into. 1892S. This is one of the areas where it could be referring to. Let me go to full screen here. See, there's little, what could be a scrape. I don't know what they could call this, tooling. They could call it, I mean, because there's metal moved, it could be a damaged coin now because of that, which is unfortunate. It is a pretty nice coin other than that. It doesn't look specifically clean to me. I mean, you never know though, for sure. Again, this is not going to be a mint state coin. This is definitely circulated. There's more marks on the cheek, on the fields. They have this as an AU, what was it? AU53, which seems like a fair grade to me, other than that details. So, good chance this is going to come back with it, you know, AU details from PCGS too. I mean, the tail feathers and breast feathers are definitely worn, so like I said, this is circulated. Still, overall, in pretty good shape for such a rare coin, 1892S. Let's go over to the website and see what I'm talking about. So right here, we've got the mintage of 1.2 million, which is pretty low for any Morgan. So even if you were getting these things graded at, you know, 45, 50, you're looking at a pretty high price tag. Unfortunately, this is probably going to come back with that same AU details tag from PCGS. And I don't know what that'll do to the price exactly, but still, it's a rare coin that I'd like to get encapsulated into a legitimate holder. I think the grade was about right, AU53. Here's some 50s. I mean, it's similar. The breast feathers are worn down. Honestly, I think this coin looks better than a 53, but it's not going to matter. I mean, if I was legitimately grading that, not thinking about the scratches on it, I'd say 55. This looks more like the coin. There's less damage, less marks. Let's go back to the coin just one more time. Take a look at that scrape there. I mean, it's unfortunate. Somebody did something that was not good for the coin. Anyway, probably going to send that in regardless. Hope for the best, but it's probably going to be AU details. Alright, we're back with another one. 1901 Morgan. This one's encapsulated. They've got it as an AU58, wherever that is. Mintage 6.9 million, 1901, AU58. And I'm taking a look at this, and it's definitely not mint state. It's got marks on the chin, on the neck. I mean, the fields are alright. Good strike. Let's look at the back. You know, the breast feathers are pretty darn worn. But overall, it's in decent shape. But yeah, it's definitely not mint state. think AU 58 may be pushing it a little bit. Maybe AU 55, 53. I don't know. Let's go look at the website. So 55, you're looking at 600, 500, 53, 300, 400. So definite improvement if you get up to 55, 58. I mean, at 58, you're looking at 1400. So I really don't think they would give me a 58 on that. 53 or 55 seems more likely, assuming it comes back without some sort of details grade. And I'd be happy with 53, to be honest. All right, next coin is an 1878. This is going to be the 1878 reverse of 1878. So it's in that case again, they've got it in MS64 plus. This is 7 tail feathers. 1878, this is one of the coolest Morgan coins. It's the first year, they made a couple varieties. So there's a lot of cool things to look for in this coin. It is in nice shape. It's got some marks on the cheek, but not too bad overall. The fields are pretty clean. A little bit of chatter there. Let's look at the back. So when you're looking for this is the reverse of 1878. See how that arrow feather is kind of flat? That's the easiest way to tell. And then you want to count the tail feathers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tail feathers. The cool ones when it's 7/8. It's kind of a little bit of doubling there, but that's not this one. But it's always fun to check. So the breast feathers are pretty decent here. Overall, this coin, to me, looks like it's in pretty nice shape. I would say, let's look at it again. I'm going to go with, this one could be an MS64 to me. There's that little line, kind of. I don't know. Let's go look at the website. So here's the one we're looking at. This is the 1878 7 tails feathers reverse of 1878. So like I was saying, this is how you tell that it's the reverse of 1878. Just look for that flat arrow feather. It makes it really easy to tell, opposed to this more slanted higher arrow feather, which would make it the reverse of 1879. And let's go look at some prices over here. So if it gets graded as 63, 64, 63, you're looking at 200, 100, 200 bucks, 150, 200 bucks. 64, 250. Seems like 250, 280. So not a huge increase, but it's meaningful enough. Plus it's it's the first year of the Morgan. I gotta send this in, get it legitimately graded. Let's go look at some of the images. I don't have those open yet. Definitely not going to be a 66, that's for sure. I don't know why they have so many images of the, 66s. Whoever finds these coins in 66 anymore? I don't even think, not sure they would ever give me a 66 on any coin I send. Let's just look at a 64 plus quickly. See what that looks like. Yeah. This one looks way nicer than mine. I'm going to downgrade mine and say that it's a 63. I won't even give myself the 64, even though it looks pretty good. On to the next one. All right, so this next Morgan is an 1881 S. And I don't know, I pulled this out of a roll. It is beautiful to me. I think this could be proof-like, to be honest. I know the camera here I have set up doesn't really do it justice, but it's in the best shape I've seen. I mean, just super minor hits, not much in the field whatsoever. And it looks proof-like when you're looking at this thing in person. Let's flip it over, which is awesome as well. Just really nice breast feathers. It's a San Francisco mid. You can kind of see more of the proof in the back here too. So when you're sending this in to get proof, like, it's got to be on both sides. But they're pretty picky. So who knows? I doubt I'll get it. But I do think this has a pretty good shot of being an MS65. And this isn't. Let's look at the website. This isn't a super rare coin. There's what, 12.7 million of these minted, so it's not. They're not going to be too afraid to give this an MS65 because it's not that much different. Like an MS64, $100, barely worth it getting graded. I want to send this in to get it graded because I found this. I think it's fun. It's part of the hobby, looking for these coins that aren't graded yet and sending them in. So I would like to see an MS65 on this. All right, this next one is an 1886 Morgan. Again, I found this one in a roll, and it is a beauty. He has not many marks in the fields all around. Just nicely, look at that hair. It's just like perfect. And a little bit of chatter. A little bit of chatter on the cheek, like they all do basically. The fields are just beautiful though. Nothing. The back. This one again could be. I don't know. I think everything's proof like that I find, but doesn't. PCGS will probably disagree with me, that's for sure. In the end, their decision is the only one that counts. You live with them and you die by them. Yeah. So this is a beauty again. I think she's an MS65. I'm sticking with it. Let's go to the website. Again, this is a common date. This is 19 million of them minted. They made a million of these babies. 19 million to be more precise. All right. I want this. I'm saying it's an MS65. So again, it's like $150 to $200 coin. If you go down to 64, it's $100. Either way, it's pretty cool. I found it. I want to get it encapsulated and get her to safety. That's my responsibility. All right, this is the last of the Morgans I'm thinking about submitting. This is an 1884 Carson City Morgan that I found while coin hunting. And she's in pretty nice shape. She's got some marks in the fields. You know, a little hit there on the cheek, but overall not too bad. I'll play with my camera setup in the future, but she's in pretty good shape. Let's look at the back. Breast feathers look pretty nice. Maybe a couple hits there. You know, she's not as of good shape as the last two coins I showed. I felt were 64, 65. There's the CC. So I would give this a little bit of a die crack there maybe. I would give this a 63, I think. Once again, it's a pretty good strike. The hair looks nice. Just a little bit. That one mark right there in the middle. Just might bring her down. So I'm gonna say she's an MS63. But it's a Carson City. I gotta get this beautiful coin encapsulated and into safety. Let's look at the website. Only 1.13 million of these minted. That's why people love them. They're on the rarer side. So let's see. If it's an MS63, you know, you're looking at $300, $350, something like that. If you get it up to MS64, doesn't even seem to make a difference. So 63, 64, what's the difference? Until you get to 65, then you're up at, you know, $500. So I'm saying an MS63, but mostly doing it just to get that beautiful coin into a legitimate holder to keep her safe. All right, that's gonna wrap things up, guys. I was going to include more coins, including my Mexican reals, but I'm gonna save that for another video because I'm getting more and it was gonna make this too long. So the next step is I'm going to send in those coins that you saw, and once that package comes back, which is going to be months from now. We'll go through them, see if I got the grades right, how wrong I was, how badly I'm going to cry by the grades that come back, or the AU details, or stuff like that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Pete, and this was Pete's Quarter Life Crisis.